Hey there, welcome back into Occupy Democrats, and it is time to rediscuss the Vietnam War. If you're old enough to remember it in any way, it was filled with a lot of propaganda. And at the core of this breaking story, Donald Trump and his Department of War is right at the heart of propaganda once again. Because a lot of what occurs in that, especially in this administration, in his second term with clown-faced Department of War Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, it starts with indemnification, and then with Donald Trump, it's always about fascination of how tough we are, but it ends in a very weird exultation. All of that wraps up with propaganda. And by the way, if you'd like to see Hegseth and Trump out of the White House, just subscribe to the channel. But there's a lot of BS and propaganda surrounding Venezuela, and it's gone now far beyond that in this breaking story. Remember when Hegseth played this card with the generals here?
Every day we have to be prepared for war, not for defense. We fight wars to win, not to defend. War is something you do sparingly, on our own term, and with clear aims. We unleash overwhelming and punishing violence on the enemy. We untie the hands of our warfighters to intimidate, demoralize, hunt, and kill the enemies of our country. Maximum lethality and authority for warfighters. You kill people and break things for a living.
And then closely watch Trump as he gives this post-we obliterated Iran's nuclear program speech. But check out all of the little disclaimers he puts in it right here.
They said it could be limited or it could be very severe. They really didn't know because it was very early after. Since then, we've collected additional intelligence, and the site is obliterated, and we think everything nuclear is down there. They didn't take it out.
That's part of the point. They want to talk about how amazing and all-encompassing or whatever, but if maybe they said, and then, of course, Hegseth goes out after Venezuela and pokes at Russia. What a great idea. Because I do recall when Trump once said, well, I don't want to say anything out loud because I don't want the enemy to know what we're doing. Yeah, only this entire administration does nothing but say crap out loud and puff their chest up, especially Hegseth right here.
3 nights ago, in downtown Caracas in Venezuela, as nearly 200 of our greatest Americans went downtown in Caracas. Seems those Russian air defenses didn't quite work so well, did they? Downtown Caracas, and grabbed an indicted individual wanted by American justice in support of law enforcement without a single American killed. Reestablishing deterrence.
Oh yeah, we've reestablished deterrence over Venezuela. Seriously? But in this breaking story, there's massive propaganda. And where's it coming from? Of course, it's coming out of the lips of Carol Lyon Levitt in conjunction with Hegseth and Donald Trump. You won't believe this completely unverified breaking story of absolute U.S. White House Department of War propaganda. Check this story out. Breaking news. White House backs bombshell claim U.S. used secret sonic weapon. My head was exploding, in quotes. White House spokesperson Carol Lyon Levitt left onlookers stunned Saturday after sharing an alleged and unverified claim that suggests the United States used a secret sonic weapon during its attack on Venezuela last week. On social media, Levitt urged her nearly 2 million followers on X to, quote, stop what you're doing and read this, sharing a social media post from Mike Netter, a pro-Trump radio host from California who's amassed more than 85,000 followers on X. That social media post includes an alleged transcript of an interview with a Venezuelan security guard who recounted the night of the U.S. attack, though no reporting exists confirming its authenticity. In quotes, at one point they launched something, I don't know how to describe it. It was like a very intense sound wave, the Venezuelan security guard allegedly said, according to Netter's online post. In quotes, suddenly I felt like my head was exploding from the inside. We all started bleeding from the nose. Some were vomiting blood. We fell to the ground, unable to move. I swear, I've never seen anything like it. We couldn't even stand up after that sonic weapon or whatever it was. The security guard allegedly went on to claim the U.S. forces killed hundreds of us, according to Netter's online post, and later issued, in quotes, warning to anyone who thinks they can fight the United States. In quotes, they have no idea what they're capable of. The security guard allegedly said, after what I saw, I never want to be on the other side of that again. They're not to be messed with. The claim, highlighted by Trump's own White House spokesperson, spokesperson was immediately dogpiled online as a propaganda campaign designed to install fear in America's purported adversaries, including by ex-user Gen X Girl, an anti-war commentator with more than 75,000 followers. In quotes, the Trump admin has launched a propaganda campaign to brainwash into believing we're so badass at war that no one stands a chance and we should rally behind war with all of Latin America. They wrote Saturday in a social media post on X, quote, "Except the propaganda sucks so bad it's embarrassing." Others, like ex-user Jay Rance, another political commentator who's amassed more than 4,500 followers, noted that even if the claim were true that the United States is in possession of a secret sonic weapon, its use would be a blatant violation of international law. In quote, so the mouthpiece of the U.S. president confirms we used a sound weapon that caused internal bleeding? They wrote Saturday in a social media post on X, "This is a violation of international law." And you can see Caroline Leavitt's post below. The White House spokesperson, in conjunction with the Secretary of Defense, I'm not calling it the Department of War, backed by Donald Trump, no questions, off of a random X post of alleged BS stories of a Venezuelan security guard, just claimed we have a secret weapon. Let that sink in. That is what we're dealing with, not to mention all of the other areas, such as Minnesota, where propaganda will be the word of the day for this administration henceforth. Trust me on the sunscreen. You guys like and share the video. Stay frosty.